Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Tuesdays with Paulie. As my loyal viewers know, I try to focus on topics that are really affecting actual, day-to-day real estate transactions, especially here in Western Mass. National trends are great, but I really try to bring up things that I've experienced in the last week that clients have asked me about that I can bring to my viewers. So this week I want to talk about FHA readiness. So if you've been in the real estate, in a transaction, if you've talked to a mortgage broker, you've probably heard those three letters. You may have seen them on the news. So FHA basically is the Federal Housing Association, and it's a subsidized insurance program that banks use, it's backed by the government, to help them insure a mortgage. It allows people to have a lower down payment. They don't necessarily need the same type of credit score that someone with a conventional mortgage would need, because the bank is willing to take an additional risk because they are backed by the government if there is a default on the loan. So from a buyer's and seller standpoint, it's good to know when you're walking into a home, if you are FHA approved and your only route is an FHA loan, it's good to know the things that may disqualify your bank from approving the property. If you're selling a home, it's good to know the things that the bank will be looking for if you accept an offer from an FHA approved buyer. So first thing I want to talk about, anyone in real estate, day one, or if you've been in the market, in the industry for 65 years, you know that peeling paint is the number one thing that an FHA appraiser is going to look for. So if during the course of your own inspection or your inspection from a licensed Massachusetts inspector, you see peeling paint, you know that that's going to have to be taken care of. The FHA does not like peeling paint. A lot of our inventory in Western Mass, really in New England, is older than most of the country, and so a lot of our homes still do have lead paint. Chipped paint, peeling paint presents a potential lead poisoning issue, especially for young kids. So the FHA is not going to want to see any peeling paint. They also don't want to see painted windows that are painted shut as well. So that's another big one to look for, is painted windows. And really, while I'm bringing that one up, they want to make sure that all the rooms, especially bedrooms, have multiple ways of egress. So basically, you want to have at least one window and one door, two different ways out of really every room in the house. Even in your basement, you want to make sure that those basement windows that you may have up top have enough room for somebody to be able to crawl out of them if you don't have separate doors, two separate ways in and out of the basement, which most houses still need to have. Finally, for you folks on private well and private septic systems, most of us in the area do have city water, city sewer, but more and more as towns expand, the homes are being built before the town or city has a chance to get their public sewage and water systems out there. So we do find more and more homes with private water and sewer and septic systems. So you need to know that those two systems need to be at least 75 feet apart from each other, and they have to be in proper working order. And lastly, the FHA is not going to allow you to do the appraisal if all the utilities are not turned on. So if you're going into a home that has been winterized, if you're going into a home that, maybe it's an estate sale and nobody's lived in the home for a while, the utilities aren't on, you need to, as a seller, make sure that all those utilities are turned on and make sure that they're in proper working order before the FHA appraisal. As always, any other questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to me directly. As always, it's been a pleasure. Have a great night and a great week, everyone.